Hey there, Ryan Kingslien here. So I've got a question. How do we grow as artists without cutting our own ear off? Right? It's a tongue-in-cheek question with all, humbleness to Van Gogh and all the beautiful artwork and the struggles that he went through in mental illness. It's a tongue-in-cheek question, but it has a serious angle to it too. Because if you Google the psychology of sports, right? If you Google psychology of sports, you get all this like motivational stuff, peak performance and CEO and all of this aspirational stuff. You Google psychology of art and you have art therapy, you've got Vincent van Gogh, you've got Starry Night, and you've got mental illness. And when we think about our role as artists and what it means to be an artist, a lot of times, part of that mythos is the struggling artist. Struggling against his culture, struggling against his inner demons, struggling. So how do we grow as artists and deal with that struggle and deal with that frustration? How do we do that? Well, you might know, but about 5-6 years ago, I hit a brick wall. I could not create. Everything was dying inside of me. I could not create without hating everything I created. I couldn't sculpt without hating nearly every second of sculpting. It was horrible. I hit a wall. I did not know what to do. I was just locked out of creativity. I'm running a business, helping artists, helping students, and I'm watching my soul die inside. And it took a long time. And it took a really long time to start to get my head around what was actually happening. But it did. I got my head around it. And one of the things that I learned was kind of crystallized in this one moment that happened a few months after I really just realized I had to make a change. I had to find a way out of this pit. We had this big loft downtown Los Angeles, and we were moving the loft to one side and the office to the other side. We were moving spaces. And so I had the stack of drawings in this hallway that was shared between these spaces. And I had the stack of drawings, and I'd walk by it like 3 days, 4 days. On the 4th day, I walked by the stack of drawing, and I'm like, oh, I love that drawing. I love that drawing. Who did that drawing? I had other teachers' drawings in there from demonstrations. And it took me a while, but then I remembered it's my drawing. And then I remembered drawing it. And then I remembered hating the drawing. Here I am, it's a distance of like 3 years, I'm trying to recover from this mental block, and I look at this drawing in the hallway, and I'm like, I love that drawing, but I hated making that drawing. How does this work? How can I love this drawing now, but I hated it when I made it? I hated all kinds of things about it. I remember when I was drawing it, I remember it even today, but I remember when I was drawing it, everything was great, and then I got the eyes out of whack. So I went in and I put the eyes, I put the shadow in for the top, I put the iris, and I started to put in the lower eyelid, and they were just a little bit out of whack, and I got upset. I got pissed off, actually. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Ryan? How do you get the eyes wrong every time? Every time, it's fucking eyes. Like, how can you get the eyes wrong every time? What is wrong with you? This is what I'm saying to myself. Way, way, way back in time. When I was making the drawing, that's what I was saying to myself. And there I am I'm in that hallway, and I'm thinking about how badly I was talking to myself. How badly I hated that drawing. And I realized, in that hallway, what a sucky parent I was being to my work. What a sucky parent I was being to my work. And it occurred to me in that moment that creating artwork is a little bit like parenting. And here I am yelling at my work and at myself, like some demanding parent that's demanding that everything be done perfectly. How does that turn out, right? We have celebrities and business we have tons of case studies of what happens with over-demanding parents and what happens to their kids and how that affects them. It does not always turn out positively, right? But there I am. I'm in that hallway and I'm looking and I'm saying to myself, oh my God, that's a beautiful drawing. that drawing is beautiful. I have been a sucky parent to that drawing. I didn't let that drawing have its ugly duckling phase. I got pissed off at it. But all that drawing needed was an ugly duckling phase. It just needed a little confusion, right? Like having a kid that's, just doesn't have all the answers. Our job is to parent our art into existence, into life. They will go through, my artwork will go through its ugly duckling phase. It will go through its confusion phase. It has its adolescent phase where it's like, I don't know, I got hormones going everywhere. Where am I going? Right? My artwork has these phases, these stages to it. And then it comes out and it has life and vitality when it has gone through that. But there I was in that hallway, and I'm remembering what a horrible parent I had been and really was being. And it occurred to me in that hallway that this is one of the core problems I have. I can't create, I can't be an artist because I'm treating myself so poorly, so horribly. That inner critic is not just an inner critic, man. That inner critic is like a tyrant. And I was emphasizing that tyrant and giving that tyrant in me power and building that tyrant muscle, building it until it was dominant over the visionary inside of me, over the creative part. I was empowering that critic over the creative part in me and subjugating that and really just destroying that creative part. No wonder I hit a wall. Hitting that wall was one of the best things that ever happened to me because today, now I know what it means and what my artwork needs. My artwork needs an amazing parent. It needs an amazing mentor. It needs an amazing coach to coach it into existence, to help give it life, give it what it needs. Because the artwork that I love isn't something that's copied or comes from somebody else or looks like this person's. The artwork that I love springs out of me and I barely even know how it happened. I barely even remember it. I just wake up and I'm like, oh my God, hi, where have you been? Where'd you come from? And I'm happy, You've had that moment, right? When, as I discovered, I am being a good parent or a good coach or a good mentor to my artwork, those moments happen naturally. I can't predict when they'll happen, right? That's part of being a mentor. You can't predict when the person you're working with is going to get all of these ideas, but they will get them. And when they get them, it flips a switch and they leapfrog to the next level. You can't predict it, but predicting and controlling are not the jobs of parents, mentors, or coaches, right? That's not the job. The job is preparing, giving the resources, loving the work, letting it exist, letting it be there. That's the job. So if we come back to this idea and the way in which I got out of my creative wall, how do we grow as an artist and not cut our own ear off? Or how do we grow as an artist and deal with all that struggle, that dissatisfaction? The one thing that rings truest to me is that we need to learn to be a better parent to our artwork. Maybe our parents weren't the best parents, but most of us know or have seen parents that really just we can respect what they did. Most of us will have some image, some archetype of some parent that was really great. We almost wish they were ours, right? And we look at that and we're like, yes, that's how you do it. So we can use that as a guide for how we can parent our work. Maybe it's a coach or a mentor that worked with you and really helped open you up. Did they do that by demanding that you not accept mediocrity? Maybe that worked, but maybe they also brought a lot of love. So how do we grow as an artist and deal with all this strife and this struggle? Be a better parent to your art. Man up, woman up, Be a better parent to your art. When you don't know what's happening, when you're unhappy with where you are, man up, woman up. That's when the parent needs to get in, bring that blanket of love and be like, it's okay, honey, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Because you and I, we are going to get there. There is no doubt in my mind that you and I, we will get there. The only one who's going to stop us is us. Right? That's the only one who's going to stop us. So if we get that out of the way, and we learn to be good parents to our artwork, good coaches, good mentors to our artwork, we bring love and we accept where we are today. We're looking at the moment, the present, and we're like, yes, anatomy, yes, this, I need to learn all of this, but you know what? I'm freaking happy. I'm here. I'm grateful that I'm here, that I have this opportunity. I'm grateful that I need to learn anatomy. I'm grateful I need to do all these things. I'm grateful I get to. It's cool. That's how I got out of it. I just changed my mind, and instead of looking at all these things I had to do and not accepting myself, I was like, all right, accept it, accept it. Be a better parent to this moment, Ryan. Accept where you are, your skill now today. Own it. Work with it. Yes, you get to learn anatomy. You get to learn composition. And you get to be here today, drawing and painting and creating. And that's a beautiful life. That's amazing. So, take care. I wish you all the best parents for your artwork. I wish that you become the best parent, the best coach, the best mentor that you can be to yourself. And I'll talk to you soon.